Hey everybody, I'm new to this whole YouTube channel thing, and you'll have to excuse the background. I'm in Andy's room because he's got the whole ring light and everything set up. I have some news, and I thought this might be the best way for me to share with everybody all at once, so you can listen, watch, whatever on your own time. And I will just update here what's going on so I don't have to send a million messages because it gets very overwhelming. I have been really sick for a little over 13 months now. I knew there was something wrong with me. I know my body, and I knew something just wasn't right. I had horrible stomach pains anytime I ate anything at all. It was just pain, nothing but pain. I had a lot of other symptoms. I'll spare you the details because they're gross. But doctors just basically kind of said, okay, well, let's try this. Let's rule this out. Let's try eliminating gluten, eliminate dairy, eliminate blah, 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 all the things. And needless to say, nothing worked. My primary care, before she moved to Pittsburgh, and now I'm without primary care, so that's been fun shopping for one in the midst of all this. She sent me to a GI specialist who I loathe, but that's a different story. The GI specialist told me that, oh, you're fine, you're young, you're healthy, everything's good. Even though my family history, it's just, both sides, they're just littered with cancer and heart crap and whatever. And I already have heart stuff going on. I have since I was 19. So I guess it's genetic lottery stuff. Anyway, cut to the chase. She finally says, oh yeah, I'll schedule you for a colonoscopy, because I said my biological father died in his early 50s of colon cancer. And so she still doesn't really take me seriously. And she pushes out my colonoscopy for 3 months. So 3 more months go by, and I am still suffering, and it's getting worse and worse, and I have an extremely high pain tolerance. And I was doubled over in pain, and there were some days where I literally could not get out of bed or off the couch. And for those of you that know me, that is super unlike me. I'm always on the go all the time with the kids and different things. Anywho, so on June 8th, 2021, my colonoscopy comes about, and I go in for it, the whatever routine, it's all done. And when I wake up, she tells me that I have colon cancer. She found, mute or something. I don't know if this is too graphic for you. But about 12 inches up, she said, I have a tumor in my colon, which is the size of a large walnut, she said, and it is blocking the majority of my functioning. Which, pain and all of that too, cancer, painful, whatever. So she said they did a biopsy, but it was so big that they could not get past it. They couldn't get the scope past it. So she goes, I don't even have to wait for the biopsy to tell me that it's cancerous. So I got my diagnosis that day. So June 8th, 2021, this is the face of a cancer survivor. Well, I hope survivor. I'm choosing to stay positive. Anywho, so she says, well, you need to get in, see an oncologist. You need to get a CT scan so we can see behind it. And I also, after I met with my surgeon, because it has to come out, he said, well, I want you to have a barium enema too. So that was loads of fun. But all in all, great. I've received great care with the exception of my GI doctor. Like I said, we're not really on great terms. So I go in, have the barium enema, and that was a few weeks ago. And they say, "Oh, everything looks good." Oh, by the way, I should tell you. So my tumor, I've decided that you kind of have to, if you don't laugh and be positive, then you'll just cry and be sad all the time. And I cannot do that crap. So, we have named it Walter. My tumor's name is Walter. And so I had to go see the surgeon because Walter needs to be evicted. And yeah, so saw the surgeon. He says, "I want you to have a barium enema." He does the barium enema. And I'm awake, and of course I'm looking on the screen and stuff, and he says, "Hey, it looks, positive news from here. It looks good because I'm not seeing anything else in the colon, except for there were like a couple pockets of diverticulitis or whatever, so hopefully they will just like snip that while they're in there." But he said, we're going to take out your sigmoid colon. So it's basically the lower third of my colon, which is where Walter resides. And yeah, it's a lot. But it doesn't stop there. So they're going to take out my sigmoid colon and my lymph nodes because they wanted to see if the cancer had traveled to my lymph nodes. And that would determine if I would have to have chemo or not. Because if they were clear, then I might not have to have chemo. But if they weren't, then more than likely. Anywho, the barium enema gets done, whatever, and he goes, "Well, you still need to have the CT scan because, this is only for your colon. So we need to be able to see from like neck to girly parts." So I had to go in and have that done and have it done with before no dye and then contrast dye to light up whatever was in there. But I went in there with good hopes. Everything was good. It was a positive experience and everything. And that was on Friday, and like Monday was the 4th of July. Holiday, whatever. Anyway, so that Tuesday, my GI doctor calls me and says, "Oh, hi," the one that we don't really get along so well, even though she's super nice to me now because she knows she effed up, putting me off so long. Anyway, so she calls and she says, "So, the chest and, like, stomach area, of your scan came back clear. They look great. Everything looks good." And I was like, "Okay, great." She goes, "But the lower part of it, we found a couple spots on your liver." Okay, so, and then she kind of goes off and she starts talking about something else. And so I circle back and I'm like, "Whoa, how many, it's a couple, like, and she goes, between 20 and 30 and like on the high end of that. Wasn't expecting that. Kind of caught me off guard. I had not been emotional really at all. At that point, I kind of started to a little bit. I wasn't like a mess or anything, but just really taken aback. Yeah, she tells me my liver is inoperable and I am advanced stage 4. So that was a lot to process, and really the only thing I could think about at that point was my kids, man. What do I tell my kids? They knew about the initial diagnosis the day that I got it because we believe in like full transparency here. And again, staying positive and keeping the positive outlook. I was, watching my mom. She went through breast cancer treatment, and her treatment was insane. She had 53 weeks of chemo and radiation 5 days a week. it was intense, y'all. But she kept a smile on her face every day, and she, did her makeup every day to help herself just to feel better. It wasn't for anyone else that had to look at her. And it works, honestly, it works. I there are days, I'm not even gonna lie, that I do not do my makeup or my hair, as you can see. But I've been trying really hard to at least do my makeup. Maybe not a fantastic job of it, but nonetheless. Anyway, so, got that bomb dropped on me. And then had to wait to meet with the oncologist, and the GI doctor dropped the ball again and made me wait. And finally I just bypassed her, and called the oncologist myself, and I chose to go to the same oncologist that my mom had because he's phenomenal. Dr. Osborne in Olympia, Washington. Shout out to your amazing knowledge and capabilities. You're a freaking wizard. But I met with him last week, and we developed a game plan. He has this cocktail already worked out for me. I have to have a port put in my chest during surgery to have chemo, because obviously it's not an option now. Things with the liver, everything changed. So have to have the port put in. They'll wait for a couple weeks for it to heal, and then then I'll start chemo. And it's a 48-hour pump thing that I have to wear in a super stylish fanny pack. So be jealous. Coincidentally, I have a friend, a really, really close friend, going through colon cancer treatment too. I reached out to tell him my diagnosis, and he was like, guess what? So we're kind of like cancer buddies. But he has the fanny pack treatment as well. He calls it the ball and chain, so we're just trying to have fun with it. Anyway, so I have to wear this pump for 48 hours, and it gives me a continuous feed of chemo for 48 hours. And then I go back into the clinic and I get it taken out. I have to do that every 2 weeks. At this point, he said, Dr. Osborne, my oncologist, said that he's hoping for a cycle of 12. So 24-ish, whatever, weeks for the first and hopefully only cycle. Or only, whatever stint, whatever of treatment that I have to have. Again, staying positive. I know it's a lot that I just dumped on you, but this is way easier than me texting everybody or messaging or whatever. Subscribe to this. I guess, I don't know. I'm so not one of those YouTube people. But my kids are helping me with it because they are. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to message me, call if you have my number or want my number, you message me, whatever. And I'll keep you updated as I can. I'm sorry, I know this video is super long, and I'm sorry, but there was a lot of information to go through, and I tend to ramble off because I'm like a squirrel. But yeah. Okay, so my surgery, today is Tuesday. I start another super fun round of prep tomorrow. And then I have surgery on Thursday morning. I have to be there to check into the hospital at 5:15. Surgery is at 7:30. I'm a little I've been cool as a cucumber this whole time. It's a lot. I'm not in denial. There's people that say, oh, you're just in denial, you haven't accepted it. I have totally accepted it because I've been sick for over a year. I knew there was something wrong, and I knew it was bad. So I have had a long time to come to terms with it. It was the liver that caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting that. But anyway, I'm a little anxious and nervous. I got the call today about scheduling for surgery with the time, not the actual schedule. I knew what day, but they call you with a time. But then they told me that because my mom is going to take me, I'm only child type thing, or her only daughter. And I do have stepbrothers, throw that out there. I was not throwing you any shade. I love you guys too. But yeah, she has to basically just pull into the little circular drive thing in front of the hospital and like kick my ass out and take off. That's like kind of blunt, but basically that's it. She can't come in at all with this whole coronavirus thing. And now there's this new Delta, I think it's called Delta variant of the virus. They're kind of cracking down on stuff. I'm bummed that my kiddos can't come see me, my boys, because they would love to, and I would love for them to, because we're in this together. But no one under the age of 18. I'm sorry, my nose is like super itchy. Anyway, so yeah, so I'm gonna be like alone up until my surgery, and then which I spend a lot of time in my head. I think that's part of like being an only child with stepbrothers. But and they're older than me too, so like they were grown up and gone when I was still a kid. But anyway, yeah, I've been in my head a lot about it, which sometimes is a good thing, sometimes it's not a good thing. I'm a little anxious. I mean, if you can, it's what, almost 17 minutes of me just running my damn mouth. Of course I'm a little nervous and anxious. Yeah. The surgery should take about 2.5, 3-ish hours, I guess, now that they have to put the port in. And then I will go to recovery and then up to my floor, and then I can have visitors, just not my kids. I'm hoping to only have to stay in there 3 days. He said at least 3 days, what my surgeon said. So I am, that's my goal. I want to get the hell out of there and just come home. I have to heal up for a couple weeks after surgery, and then I will start chemo. I don't even know if I said that already. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. Yeah. So I will check in here probably tomorrow to vent a little bit because I'm going to be a little more anxious. Yeah. You know how to get a hold of me, or just pop a message down below, I guess. I don't know, like I said, I don't know anything about this crap. And I'll get back to you. So love all you guys, friends, family, even if I don't see you every day, talk to you every day, or haven't seen you in forever. Yeah, life is, it gets interesting when you're faced with your own mortality. Hug your people. I promised myself I would be real and raw, because I don't know who else is going through the same thing. Who knows? Maybe it'll help someone someday. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.